hysteria. That's an example of the cosmic giggle. It's like a transmission you receive. It's a connection of the dots, right? You see something and you just see the perfection in it. And you just burst into laughter. And that has a lot to do with serendipity. Serendipity is the idea, it's synchronicity essentially, right? When things line up miraculously. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, coined the term synchronicity, I believe, and he really focused a lot of his work. He was the protege of Freud, right? But he went off to do his own thing. And he started to study this dynamic synchronicity or serendipity, where things just line up, that there's an order to the universe. There's some kind of perfection woven into the fabric of the universe, and that being in the flow essentially will lead you step by step by step by step in a perfect manner that you could only truly understand when you look back at your life, right? When you're looking forward, you don't really see it. It's impossible to see the chronological perfection because it's a linear way of thinking. It's a very left brain way of thinking. But you have to be balanced hemispherically speaking. Right, left. What's the left brain noted for? Analytics, taxes, abacus, weighing things out, 80% carbs, 10% protein, 10% fat, alphabet diet, weighing it all out. Well, today I need 525 milligrams of goji berries, and then I need 235.3% milligrams of cacao beans. What? And then I need to have whatever amount of ascorbic acid, and I'm going to pretend that that's actually vitamin C, but it's not. It has nothing to do with vitamin C. But I'm going to do it because my doctor told me to. Like, that's all left brain stuff. And interesting thing about that is there's been research to document the effects on the body of being left or right brain dominant. Left brain, hypermasculine. Right brain, creative, loving, nurturing, in the flow, watery, magic, creative, artistic. It's more feminine. It's more of a procreative side. We need both. About 80-20. Our world right now, what's the
other opposite?
2080.
Right? Like 2080 maybe. Taxes, the IRS, the FBI, the CIA, the AMA, right? It's all a product of control mechanisms brought out by a hyper-masculine overbalance. So we go back into the right brain balance, and studies have shown, very interesting studies I would say, have been shown to actually see what is the energy expenditure of being a left brain dominant person versus being a right brain dominant person, being more linear versus being more creative, for simplicity's sake. And there's a man named Dr. Tony Wright. He's from the UK. And typically, those guys are typically very, what? Cerebral, very left brain, very analytical, scientific engineering mind. Turns out he's a raw foodist. And he wanted to see how long he could go on raw food without sleeping. Now, the Guinness World Record for sleep deprivation is held by him now. 12.5 days of going without sleeping, entirely on raw vegetables, mostly fruit. And after it, he found out that the right brain does not need to sleep, but the left brain does. What does it happen when you ground, like these grounding sheets? Like grounding technology where you have a grounding mat and you plug it into your wall if it's a grounded electrical system, or you have a copper wire that you plant outside into the ground and it connects over to your grounding mat. That's been shown to actually discharge that EMF toxicity and it grounds you. you get better sleep. And it actually shuts down the left brain dominance. And you become more creative. That's one of the byproducts of grounding. You become more right brain dominant. I just find that so fascinating that we live in a disenchanted world of dreary discoloration, 9 to 5 reality. We live in a just over broke idea. What's that? Otherwise known as a job? Just over broke. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Right? So everything that's being pit against us essentially are the booby traps of society. And the minefield, the navigation of the minefields is a return back to enchantment. It's a return back to natural magic. And a huge part of that is to get back into a natural landscape, a natural environment. Who feels like when they were here this week that they had more natural magic in their life? Even though you may not have gotten as much sleep, you still felt more fueled up, huh? You felt more inspired, in spirit. Inspired, right? More happiness, more joy, more natural energy, right? Eating less, doing less, no stimulants needed, just natural energy, right?